Hey everyone, Matea here. I just wanted to share with you some cute projects that I made for my sweet friend Irene. She is Lucia Casso here on YouTube. And I contacted her because we haven't done a swap in like forever. And she said yes. And she's like, "What do you think you want to swap?" And I'm like, "I have no idea." So she saw this tutorial on Susie's channel. She's Creative Cafe Girl, I believe. And so we followed her paper bag journal tutorial with a fabric binding. So this is what I came up with. And I used mostly the Prima romance novel collection because we were going with pink and black and light cream tones. So I did that. So basically what I did is I took a paper bag, a vintage paper bag, and I sewed some cheesecloth and fabric lace all the way around. And then I just layered a vintage book page. I sewed around some papers from the collection. And then I just collaged some laces stitched there, and then I put some vintage buttons there. So for my little closure, I used black vintage lace, and this is a really pretty vintage lace that I've had for a long time, and it's really soft. The first page here, I layered this fabric piece that I've had, and I just never really knew what to do with, so it was perfect for this. I layered some vintage book page there. It's a pattern for crocheting lace. And then just layered some of this fun paper behind there that I stitched on, some fun lace with this yellow crocheted edge there. I got that from Julie. I don't know if you can see that. Julie, paper bag lady. Hey, Julie. So there's that. And then I tore another piece and just did some stitching and put some wooden butterflies there. And then I just have a coffee dyed tag from a big pack that Julie sent me a while back. So I thought it'd be really neat in there. And so you can see the fabric binding we did with the muslin. On this page, I used the beautiful floral paper, and then I just put a phrase sticker from the Tim Holtz stickers there, a little cheesecloth, and a wooden butterfly. And then I stitched on this scrap of vintage crocheted trim. On this page, I had some vintage book paper, and I just did some stitching there. Then I just cut a corner off of this like table runner that I had, and I really liked how I had like the almost like honeycomb chicken wire pattern going on there. And then this piece is from the romance novel paper, just ripped it out and stitched around it. And put a little doily that I cut in half on either side there, and it's a little pocket so she can put something in there. Kind of did the same thing here. I layered a piece of lace just on a corner there. This is a Tim Holtz word ticket, a piece of paper I tore out of the collection, some gorgeous black Venice lace there, that's vintage. And then this is a piece of that table runner. It's a flower pattern, and then I just put some cheesecloth there. And then I just tore the edge of the page because I was meaning to actually stitch something across, and it jammed my sewing machine, so I just tore the edge, so it just looks kind of neat. A happy mistake. This paper I just really wanted to show, so I punched out a little mason jar and sewed some lace across it so it looks like a cute topper on a jar. And then another one of those stickers. And then down here I just bunched up some tan lace and ran it through my sewing machine. Here, this chipboard piece is actually from, I think it's like a botanical collection from Graphic 45, and we wanted to kind of do this springy with flowers and butterflies and birds and stuff like that. So I wanted to use that chip piece. I thought it was really pretty. I just have some scraps of vintage tatting, another piece of that runner, and then I kind of folded and crinkled some seam binding and just stitched, and I really like how that came out. Susie, Creative Cafe Girl, does a lot of that, so kind of got that idea from her. This page, I just have a little key paper clip from Prima. And then I've made this little envelope I cut out of the romance novel paper, and it just has a little spot for her to journal in there. Then it just folds up, and I put a doily and a wooden button, and that just sticks there. Got another fun coffee dyed tag. This page came out really neat. I'm happy with how it came out. I just tore a piece of paper from the collection, punched out some random butterflies, and stitched down the center of that, and then another sticker. And then I just put a bow on this paper clip, which is holding something on the other side. This was some fun music paper, and it just said Woodland on it. I thought that was kind of fitting. Here is a gorgeous rose clothespin that I got from Crystal, and just a little tag. I put some vintage ad, like a vintage ad torn on the back of it and on the front, and just a little button and a doily and some lace at the top of that tag. Down here, I just wanted to put this sticker. It just says, keep some room in your heart for the unimaginable. And then on this side, I did a little collage with a doily that I coffee dyed, some crocheted trim, and then I just stitched down 3 pieces of little ephemera from the romance novel collection and put a wooden bird and a butterfly. I love this type print, it's so neat. And then I left this open behind here to tuck something in there. So as I went on, I was like, gosh, you know how you get so inspired to do the first pages and then you need to take a break and come back? Well, I'm glad I did, just because I love how this turned out and I wasn't getting bored with it at this point. So some of the music paper, I just had a strip of leftover muslin that I kind of looped and stuck behind my cluster here, which is a vintage doily piece, a piece of the table runner that's crocheted like a flower, this gorgeous butterfly embellishment that I got from Crystal that I'm finally using, and then another sticker there. And then at the bottom, I just let some of this gorgeous, super old vintage lace dangle there. This paper, actually, I got from Natalie and Sydney Heirloom Anthology in a rack years ago, and I decided to use it for this. I just love this dress form image. I stitched with zigzag and then a straight stitch down there and added some vintage buttons. These vintage buttons, actually, I got at an antique store. They were all like cut up in a bag or had been like cut off of things, so there's still like bits of thread and fabric stuck to them, so I thought that was cool. And then I just had 2 tiny little scraps, one of the paper and one of lace, that I just glued down there, and I thought it just added a little bit of interest. And then on this one, I actually used this frame chip piece from that botanical collection from Graphic 45 because I liked the roses on it. And then I added a phrase sticker and collaged some more laces and seam binding across here. And then I just sewed this little vellum tag. And then I just have a plain vellum tag. And those just tuck right in there. And then on the last part, I just stuck this really neat paper clip. I did a little stitching and collaging of the paper. This is just a vintage ad that she can cut apart and use in her projects. And same with this. This came from like a crochet booklet. So I hope she has fun with that and can find some projects to use that on. And then it's just empty like that so that I could show the really neat paper bag that I used. And so this just clips back on like that. And then there's the back. And I just used my stamp that she gifted me a couple years ago for my birthday. So super cute. I really had a ton of fun with that. This is my card for her, and basically I just layered some papers, I did some stitching, I layered some pretty lace, some muslin, a doily, another doily, some of those wooden butterflies and a vintage button, some more vintage buttons there, and then this is from a Tim Holtz paper pack that I just cut out and did some stitching around, and the inside just has pattern paper, and there's the back. And then this is just like a little goodie pack, I guess, I created for her. I used my We Are Memory Keepers envelope punch board and made an envelope and then put some laces and doilies and a bow just to kind of decorate that up. And I'm gifting her some French vocabulary cards. I already bundled those up. Just some fun Sears and Roebuck catalog sheets that she can have fun with, and there's different things on all of them. And then this is like the vintage sewing ads and stuff that I used in her things, and so I have tons of these books, and so I'm gifting her one of those books. So yeah, those are my projects for Irene, who's Lucia Casso on YouTube. I'll link her channel below, and you can see her open it, which she'll already have gotten it by the time you guys see this video, and then you can see maybe what she recorded for what she sent me. Thank you all for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye!